You are going to get old. Not someday in the abstract, not in a way you can postpone with good intentions, vitamins, or optimism. It will happen in a real, physical, unavoidable way, quietly. And once it arrives, it never truly leaves. I know you don't like thinking about that. Most people don't. You assume there will be time later to figure it out, that you'll adjust when the moment comes, that wisdom will appear at the same pace as the wrinkles. But it doesn't work like that. You don't arrive at old age prepared. You stumble into it, caught off guard by what your own body and your own world begin to do to you. And before you scroll away, stay with me. Because near the end, I'll share one thing that surprised me more than all of this combined. One thing no one ever warned me about, and it might change how you look at your life today. I am 85 years old. I spent 38 years as a hospice nurse. I watched people die for a living. In hospitals, in living rooms, in quiet bedrooms with curtains half drawn, with families gathered, and sometimes with no one there at all. I held more hands at the end of life than most people shake in an entire lifetime. I thought I understood aging. I thought I understood loss. I was wrong. Nothing prepared me for what it feels like to be the one still standing on this side of it. Still breathing, still here, while slowly becoming someone the world doesn't quite know what to do with anymore. Silence. The first thing you notice is your body changing in ways no one ever explains properly. People talk about aches and pains, arthritis, grey hair, but they don't tell you that your body literally shrinks. Not figuratively, literally. I used to be 5'6". I remember standing straight beside my husband on our wedding day, feeling solid, present, perfectly matched to the man beside me. Today, I'm barely 5'4". My spine compressed, the cartilage between my vertebrae wore thin, 2.5 inches of my life quietly disappeared. And here's the part no doctor ever mentions. When your body shrinks, your presence in the world shrinks with it. You take up less space. You're easier to overlook, easier to brush past, easier to forget. Last Christmas, my grandson hugged me, and for a moment I felt small and fragile in his arms, like a bird that might startle and disappear. I used to be the one who held people together, the strong one. Now I feel like a strong wind might carry me off. Women lose more height than men as they age. By 80, the average woman has lost 3 inches. And it's not just height. My hands can't open jars anymore. I can't carry groceries in one trip. Your body doesn't fail all at once. It just becomes less slowly, until one day you're negotiating with it instead of commanding it. Then something harder happens. You become invisible. Not dramatically, not because people are always cruel. You simply stop registering. I stood at a pharmacy counter once, prescription in hand, when a younger woman walked up behind me. The clerk looked straight past me and spoke to her. I might as well have been part of the counter. Most women report feeling invisible as they age. The world that once noticed you, needed you, evaluated you, eventually stopped seeing you at all. And alongside that comes loss. Not all at once, but layered, quietly accumulating. My husband Tommy died 7 years ago. We were married for 56 years. Parkinson's took him piece by piece. I bathed him, fed him, held him when he no longer recognized my face. When he died, I thought the hardest part was over. I was wrong. The hardest part is every night since. The empty bed. Cooking for one. Reaching out in the dark and finding nothing there. No one prepares women for widowhood. More than 40% of women over 65 are widows. And yet each of us feels alone in it. Fear comes next. And once it arrives, it settles into everything. Fear of falling becomes the background noise of your life. I fell in my kitchen once and broke my wrist. It rewired my mind. Now I fear my own floor, getting out of bed, stepping into the shower, walking down the porch steps. Fear makes falling more likely. You tense up. You stop moving naturally. You become the fragile thing you're afraid of becoming. I used to dance in the kitchen with my husband. Now I shuffle, one hand always touching the counter. Then roles reverse. Your children become your parents. They mean well. They love you. But it hurts to hear them discussing your decline as if you aren't there. You're no longer trusted with your own life. Beneath it all is the fear of being a burden. Not because you want to die, but because you're tired of needing. Loneliness changes shape as you age. It's not about being forgotten. I have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and I am lonelier than I've ever been. Loneliness lives at night, after the television is turned off. In the long hours when you can't sleep and there's no one to tell. Your mind starts betraying you in small ways. You forget a name, a reason you entered a room, and every slip feels like a threat. I've seen dementia up close, so when I forget something, I don't laugh, I freeze. Eventually, you plan your ending, quietly, practically, living wills. Do not resuscitate orders. Letters for grandchildren. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of losing dignity, of becoming a body instead of a person with a story. And now, here's the part no one ever told me. Something unexpected happens when you stop fighting what's happening to you. When you accept that your body is failing and your time is finite. Something softens. It's not happiness, it's quieter than that. Peace. I no longer worry about impressing people, or my career, or mistakes that might affect my future. My future is shorter and therefore more precious. I watch birds and actually see them. I taste my coffee. I call my grandchildren because I want to hear their voices. I stopped rushing late in life, but I stopped. If you're young, call the people who raised you, not out of guilt, but because one day you'll wish you could hear their voices again. If you're old and listening, you are seen here. You are not invisible in this moment. And if you stay with yourself until the very end, you may find something waiting there too. A quiet kind of grace.